Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our new Mage campaign, Salem Nights. I'm joined by Melody, Rowan, and Mike, who all have introduced themselves and their characters. And just to give you a brief overview on what Mage is, the World of Darkness exists as a parallel to our own, where there are things that go bump in the night. There are vampires, werewolves, and mages. And mages are a person that has awakened to the power of magic. So, not just any sort of awakening, but basically they have felt that they are attached to godlike power, and then they sort of faded into what they can do with that, controlling their own personal realities. So I'll have Mike start explaining himself and his character,
Uh,
or
okay.
introducing, I should say.
Okay. His name is Oliver Hitchens. Um, During the day, he he works around uh, the university there, sort of doing uh, janitorial and security stuff, and he is a verbena mage. He does most of his magic out in the country between Boston and Salem. Mm, Not too much is known about his background. He's really quiet, tends to um, keep to himself a lot.
All right. And then Melody.
My name is Melody. I play Misty Everwood. I am a Son of Ether's background in magic. Not a whole lot is known about her. She likes to work with animals, though.
Okay. And finally, Rowan.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I'm playing Eleanor Abernathy, and Eleanor is a very popular streamer out of Salem. She does rituals and magic with her followers on stream, trying to awaken the latent magical potential left behind by the witches um, who once walked the streets of Salem. She also, as part of her aesthetic and to draw in more subscribers, has centered the entirety of her rituals around cats. Um, she
Cat.
calls her and her followers the Order of the Entwined Tails.
All right. So we start off this night with the three of you having been called to a local bar. Um, I don't have a name for it, so it's just the bar. uh, you are all called in because a more powerful mage on the council has a task that he wants you to complete, and he will explain it when you arrive. So, how does everyone get to the bar?
I go by bus, city bus.
Okay. Are you going in regalia or anything? Do you have your magical tools with you? Or
Well, I always have my tools with me, but they're in a shoulder satchel. And as far as clothing goes, um, I would have just gotten off from the doing things at the university, so
so you're
I'm
in a
just I'm just
janitorial uniform, basically?
well, no, that I put that in my locker. I'm just in regular jeans and um, button-up shirt at this point.
Okay. And Melody, what is your character wearing and how are they getting
Um,
there?
I hop a taxi and I'm wearing just regular street clothes and I have my satchel of magical stuff.
Just its own like separate satchel or in your purse or something like that?
Just a separate satchel.
Okay. And Eleanor, right, Eleanor.
Well, I am vlogging my journey to the bar. Um, Live stream vlogging, of course. Because you never know when the latent powers of Salem might call to me, and my subscribers might donate enough for me to stop and do a quick ritual along the way. So that means that I have all of my ritual equipment. And as for what I'm wearing, well, I'm working currently. I'm on stream, so that means I am in my cat bodysuit and full streamer regalia. Um, I'll end it before I get to the bar, of course. Gotta keep that separate, but the entire way is fair game for that.
All right. Let's see if you get any major donations. Go ahead and let's see, what would it be? Roll me. Oh gosh.
They have they have, do they have a finance ability or something like that?
So in this case, I think it would be something that she's attracting the people. So roll me expression with manipulation as the social attribute. And the difficulty is, oh, probably a 6. It's probably not that difficult to get people to donate to you when you're out and about in the town.
All right, remind me in this version, um, what's my starting dice pool?
So your starting dice pool is your manipulation plus your expression.
Okay,
And your target number is 6.
right. I had 3 successes.
All right. So that's more than enough for someone to give you a big donation. They tip you uh, like 5,000 bits, so like $50.
Nice. I'm going to give a big shout out to the little muffin in the chat who donated that big 50 buckaroos. I hope you enjoy your exclusive cat emotes.
And they say this is in hopes that you have a great night.
Oh, I'm always going to have a great night when my little muffins are looking out for me.
All right. So you all make it to the bar easily on time, and when you enter, you notice that the place is cleared out except for one man and the bartender. Man stands about 6.5 feet tall. He's wearing a black suit with a red undershirt and a black tie. And he's carrying a silver dragon head tipped cane. The cane is primarily black, the dragon head is silver. So how do you approach this man? You all get there at roughly the same time. And how do you approach each other, I should say, when you all enter the bar?
I go up to the bar and ask the bartender for a whiskey and sit at the bar.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to sign off on my stream, tell my little muffins to have a magical evening, and that I will see them first thing in the morning for our welcome to the sun ritual.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go to the bar and finally put away all of my streaming recording gear and order a Cosmo.
All right. And the bartender smiles at each of you as you arrive and goes about making your drinks without giving you any indication of a price or anything like that. He reaches across the bar and hands them to you. And Melody, I'm sorry, Misty.
I come up to the bar and I order a whiskey sour.
Okay. And you all just sort of sit at the bar separately and wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So the man stands up from the bar and looks to each of you, catching your eye. For some reason, you feel compelled to stand with him and follow him. Do you follow this compulsion or try to resist it?
I'll follow him. What time of the evening is this?
This would be like fairly early in the evening, about 6 p.m. So the sun is just setting since it's late summer.
So there's no reason at all that this bar should be empty at this time of
Oh
night.
no, it's central in the city. It's it should be fairly populated, and everyone should have just gotten off work, gotten cleaned up, and gone to the bar. So the fact that it's empty is very strange.
Yeah. If nothing else, I want to follow him to find out why.
Okay. And Misty and Eleanor?
I get up and follow them. A bit
Okay.
curious what's going on.
I am not sure I'm comfortable walking into a situation that I have no idea what's going on. And as they say, curiosity killed the cat. So I'm going to stay where I am for right now and enjoy my drink.
All right. Go ahead and roll me. Um, let's see. I believe it would be willpower. So that's the total of your willpower score plus wits. Or no, I'm sorry, willpower plus arete.
Okay. my target number?
Your target number in this case would be 7.
Okay.
And in general, if I call for a roll and don't give you another target number, it'll be 7. That's generally considered the standard difficulty.
Okay, that's another 3 successes.
All right, let me just check something really fast. Okay, you feel as though the veil of curiosity is lifted from you, and you no longer feel a compulsion to follow this man.
Alright, well, since nobody took my card and no drink prices were mentioned, I'm just gonna order another Cosmo and see how this plays out.
The man turns back to you and says, "Please follow me. I have things to show you."
I've heard that in a back alley before. You have to give me a pretty good reason beyond that, because been there, done that, seen that.
We have an interesting proposition for you. There will be pay.
Again, I've heard this in a back alley before.
Oliver says apparently you need to stay out of back alleys.
Well, when you're dressed like a cat all the time, you get the weirdos.
So
Do you want to be more, direct? There's nobody else here. Was bartender? Is the bartender preventing you from just, spitting it out?
he glances over to the bartender, who immediately falls asleep. Just after he finished your Cosmos, so it's just sort of sitting in his hand.
I'm gonna go get the Cosmo and be like, if you can do that, then why all the mystery?
I generally prefer to keep my abilities to myself.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want people to, follow you and do stuff, then maybe you should be a bit more forward. But, okay. What do you have to say now? He's asleep.
He sighs and glances around the room, lifts up his cane and waves it in a circle, and you can hear a faint hissing from the air around you. And he says, "This wasn't the place that I had prepared to be safest, but since you're trying so hard to avoid going with me, I suppose that it will have to do here. My name is Nefaris, and I'm seeking to acquire a particular piece of art from an abandoned building on the outskirts of town. I personally cannot retrieve this because the wards of that area are attuned to avoid people like myself from entering them. But with the amount of arete that you possess, you would be capable of entering it as much easier."
So, you've cleared out a bar, put the bartender to sleep, and tried to compel us to come with you for a picture.
It's not just any picture. This painting is well over 150 years old and has acquired significant resonance. It's the perfect piece for something that I'm working on.
What is that something?
I have an artifact that I would like to produce that would extend my lifespan, if you must know.
Well, I mean, if you were putting together an artifact to, I don't know, end existence as we knew it, I would, you know, do it for you. So, it's kind of important to know what you want things for. Alternatively, what do I get out of this?
Payment in cash, in quintessence, and in my push to keep you further ahead in your cycles of the council in this region.
How about payment and giving us this extra lifespan?
I'm sorry, that isn't something that I can do for you. My skills aren't quite at the level that I can bestow extra lifespan on others yet.
Okay, then my secondary question, why us?
You three have been determined to be the most effective members of the new council in this area for your arete. Your particular skills would be most likely to succeed in this endeavor.
You do realize that you're saying this to a woman who, for probably 12 hours of her day, pretends to be an uwu cat girl on the internet, right? This is the secret agent you want to send in for your magical. I'm not complaining at this point. I'm just, transparency and all.
We know of your skill with mind magics and have some ideas that there may be spirits in the mansion that would be susceptible to such.
So this is in a mansion on the edge of town.
Yes. The wards that were put in place have kept the sleepers from seeking this area, but believe me, there are many reasons that this place should be opened up to our kind. In retrieving this artifact, or in retrieving this painting, excuse me, you will be increasing the likelihood that we will eventually be able to break through the resonance seal and have everyone able to use this land.
All right. Well, you said there were things in the mansion that my mind power would be particularly effective against. So what are we coming up against?
We believe there to be ancient spirits and ghosts trapped in the mansion, so hopefully nothing particularly dangerous, but if there is danger, then your ability to suppress their minds should serve you well.
And what would I be of use for?
Well, as a member of the Sons of Ether, you should be capable of handling yourself in most situations regarding the forces of magic, fire and that sort of
Hmm,
thing.
blowing things up, huh?
Yes. And while you're, oh, I lost your character name, Mike. I need to write this down.
Name is Oliver.
Oliver, right. Well, you,
Oli-
Oliver, are not particularly well known to us. We do sense great resonance on you, so your abilities must be at least capable of protecting yourself, and more importantly, with the resonance that we sense, you would be capable of defending these two in a physical way, should there be any leftover creatures.
Most likely. Fact, I spend a lot of time on the edge of town. Would I know this place? Or would I have at least passed by it?
You should have passed by it several times, but you may not have determined its existence without keeping up your mage sight.
Uh, there can't be that many large manor houses in the area.
There's a surprising number, but you're correct, there aren't many. At least not many that are capable of hiding themselves from sleepers.
Well, I can definitely always use more cash, so I will help out if I can.
Perfect. And you, Misty and Eleanor?
Sure, why not? I can always use the money. Well, no, I just like collecting money, but yeah, no.
I suppose. I mean, might make for a interesting, well, not really story for a stream, but you know, I can swing this to be something I can tease about. Never really tell them. They'll donate more to try to get the story out of me.
Most importantly, you should be able to acquire any objects of resonance for yourself that are not the art that I seek. Specifically, the painting is of a man holding a dog. It is about 4 feet by 6 feet, and the background is of a waterfall.
Okay.
That's a fairly large piece of art. That's not something you're gonna mistake if you happen to see it. And anything else in there beside that piece of art is ours?
Yes, there's nothing in there that we particularly need to stay there, and in fact, bringing out objects should reduce the resonance seals on the place.
Alright, ransack it, become a cat burglar. Got it.
And all done on video.
Well, I mean, I probably won't stream it.
You might want to edit that part. Unless you fancy doing your stream from a local
Jailhouse.
county jail, and I don't think they have Wi-Fi.
Oh, but it will make for a good haul video.
So,
Alright. So, thank you all for agreeing to do this for me. And I can give you the address that is nearest the manor house, but you will have to use your mage sight to locate the place yourselves.
how much cash payment are we talking about, just to be clear?
$5,000 for each of you.
Hmm.
That's definitely doable.
Yep.
I'm mostly in it for the stuff at this point, so that's fine.
Oh, I missed that, Rowan. You might be slightly.
No, Is this better?
Yes.
I said I'm mostly into it for the stuff now. Um, I could probably make more money streaming at this point, but that's okay.
Extra 5 grand never hurts, no matter what
It's
you
true.
do.
And remember that you will have my vote as you ascend in the council for assisting me. So, political gain is there if that's something that you seek normally.
All right, well, gotta keep them on my good side in case I accidentally stream something I'm not supposed to one day.
Please try to avoid that.
Oh, it's fine. They think it's all real in the fake way anyway.
Alright, and you have as much time as you need, but the faster you get this to me, the more effective I can be at my spell, so I would appreciate working quickly on this.
I say, pack up what we need and head out tomorrow morning.
I suppose I can move my sun up stream for another time. We'll just do a sunset. It'll be fine.
Well, we don't have to necessarily leave at sunrise, but
You can leave whenever.
Alright, so have you all, I would suggest exchanging contact information amongst yourselves. And I will be taking my leave, he says. He raps his cane on the floor, and the hissing sound dissipates, and the bartender sort of shakes his head and sits up. Within a few minutes, if you remain behind, you notice that people begin filtering into the bar to continue their drinking or start it, depending on what time they got off work, basically.
Well, I don't have anything to do until morning. Um, so I'm gonna have a couple more drinks because I've had a productive week thus far. Um, before I prepare to do a late night romp through a graveyard to find the spirits of the lost of Salem, that sort of thing.
don't they have a tour guide for that?
Yeah, well, why would you have a tour guide when you have a cat girl romping through the gravestones, asking for her little muffins to send her energy to find the ghosts better?
You're nudging in on the tourist trade.
Huh? Well, anything for the almighty dollar.
Yep. Well, I myself am gonna have another whiskey and have dinner. I just got off work myself before this thing happened. So
Yes, dinner sounds great.
I'm assuming the bar serves food.
Yeah, it's got, the basics, hamburgers, fries, hot dogs, all that kind of all-American junk.
Yeah. I'll just have a burger and fries and a whiskey. I'll be good.
I'm sure you can get them to serve you a steak. Just will be cooked by a bartender, so
You know, hopefully he doesn't fall asleep while he's doing that.
There's a hamburger, some fries, and a whiskey sour would be great.
And where do you guys want to meet in the morning?
Well, do we all have transportation to the address we were given?
I'm sure I could get there.
Hmm, I know that there's a bus that goes from Salem to Boston and back, so it'll drop you at the edge of town if you wanted to.
and
Okay.
you can note if you check your various map apps that that is fairly near the location. It'll get you maybe 15 minutes walk away.
All right. Well, I've got my
Works.
transportation, so I see no reason why we can't just meet up there in the morning.
Okay.
The question is, what time in the morning?
Well, the bus starts running at like 5 a.m., so that'll be more than enough time if you wanted to get there at sunrise. But if you wanted to spend a little time after that, the bus will be running the whole time, so
At minimum, it probably runs every hour.
yep.
I say 9 o'clock.
That works for me.
Time to have breakfast first.
Yep, exactly.
Don't want to go hunting ghosts on an empty stomach.
All right.
That
So you
works.
all, or I should say, so Oliver and Misty have dinner. Does Eleanor stay with them and chat, or does she leave to go prepare for her midnight romp?
Well, what time is it now?
About 6:15, 6:30.
I'll stay and have another drink with them.
All right.
Even people in cat suits have to have dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I already had a mukbang earlier, You gotta cover all your bases.
Uh,
All right. So after everyone drinks and chats variously about work and life and that sort of thing, you all head out and take your various paths back to do whatever you are going to do. Um, Eleanor, go ahead and give me another manipulation plus expression to see how well you do on your midnight romp. And difficulty of 7 in this case because it's a late night stream and less people are around.
Right. One success.
And that's not terrible. You make another about 25, 30 bucks off of donations and subscriptions, and then you head home to wash off your makeup and get out of your cat suit.
hmm Okay.
And so, unless anyone else has anything that they want to do this evening, you'll all meet up in the morning.
Yeah, Oliver's just going to head home after dinner.
Okay. Same for Misty.
I'm gonna head home and watch some TV.
Okay. There's nothing on, but there's never anything on, so
You pay $120 a month for cable, and there's not a
yeah, not a thing on.
re-
I don't pay
reruns
the cable. My roommate pays the cable.
reruns of reruns of old cooking shows.
Yeah. Hey, I miss the Iron Chef.
Yeah, it was actually my favorite cooking show while it was on. But
All right. And so I know this hasn't come up, but each of you carries magical tools related to each of your spheres. So, what sorts of things are you carrying? Are you carrying weapons, armor, that sort of thing? Or are you carrying like wands and or even, tablets devoted to the the whole being a reality hacker sort of thing?
I carry a wand and some armor and my magical books.
Okay.
I have a pack of the stereotypical witchcraft stuff. I say it's for show, but really it's for use too. I basically clank around when I walk from all of the crystals that I have in various places.
All right.
uh, I have a um, pouch on my belt with various herbs that I use for healing and some for incense. And I have a short sword attached to my back.
Hidden underneath your jacket or something.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't carry it at work uh, at the university, but all other times that I'm out, I have it with me.
Yeah, but I have a short sword too
So,
on my back under my clothes or under my
um,
jacket.
and you know,
All right. So, with all of your gear prepared and your various crystals attuned, you meet up outside the building that you were directed to, and I suppose this is the time when you would all cast your Mage Sight spells. So, what spheres are each of you using for Mage Sight?
I have no idea.
Well, you can use any sphere for Mage Sight, but
uh,
each of them has different sort of effects to them. Like mind gives you the resonant emotions to things. Um, forces would give you the like electrical energy and heat flows and that sort of thing. You
Okay,
know.
my major one is forces, and then my two minor ones are life and spirit.
So which would you prefer to use? Any of them can use Mage Sight.
Probably forces, probably.
Forces. All right. So you can detect. Well, actually, I'll also get Oliver's Mage Sight and Rowan's, or I mean
uh,
Eleanor's.
mine is prime.
Okay.
What would entropy get me?
So entropy gets you the fate of things, the interconnectedness of what sort of if there's any destiny to anything, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay.
What does forces do?
So forces will give you heat maps and electrical energy and like how powerful the wind is in certain directions, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'll use that one.
All right, and
No.
prime, of course, gives you the actual innate magic to a thing. So it's the most magey of the mage sites. It gives you what resonance is flowing amongst magical spells and that sort of thing. So all of you, when you open up your mage site, are able to see a grand manor in somewhat dilapidated condition, but not nearly as bad as it should be for being over 150 years old.
Hmm. Something is keeping this place going.
Yeah. So, actually, Oliver and Eleanor can give me perception plus the sphere that they used.
Yeah. What do I have in perception?
4 successes.
4 successes. Excellent. So
Are
you
we doing anything with perfect rolls, by the way?
no.
Okay, then just 4.
Yeah. So you detect an element of melancholy to the location and some small hot spots of rage through the windows.
Okay.
Okay. Do tens explode or not?
Tins don't explode, I think. That's what she was asking with perfect successes. I am not certain on what we decided for that actually. So what would you prefer for that?
Mm,
I think non-exploding tens is fairer
yeah,
personally, but
true. So I got 1 success.
all right. That's still more than enough to determine the resonance about the place. There's an air of cleanliness
Mm,
and an air of like care to some of the spells that are woven throughout the edges of the building,
Somebody's taking care of this place.
or they set permanent spells to do so.
Yeah, there's. And do I get the sense that this is new or have these things been there?
With one success, it's a little difficult to determine, but you can tell they aren't brand new, so they aren't being upkept like weekly or anything. They could be months old, or they could be years old, or they could be centuries old. It's just hard to determine because the
Okay.
resonance is it's old, but it's not telling you how old it is.
What about with my 4 successes on what I saw?
So that gave you the spots of rage. That's
Mm-hmm. Okay, so like, is this like rage that's been there for a while, or
um
fresh, or
it appears to be fresh current rage in those spots. And the melancholy is old, very old.
Hmm.
okay, so somebody's really angry about something in this place, like right now.
Hmm. And if it's the same person or thing that created the words that I'm seeing, they have some skill because, you know.
long duration spells are difficult. So,
They're putting effort into this for some reason.
and the forces senses, how many successes do you get on that,
On
Misty?
the forces,
Yeah.
3.
Okay. So you're able to determine that there's no electricity running through the house, and that it is colder than the background heat of the area around you.
Okay.
Do you share that with the group, or?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So it's not being physically occupied, at least.
It's
Yeah.
unlikely, yeah.
Unlikely.
But it's colder, and this is summer, so something is keeping it cool in the face of, the
Oh,
summer warmth. It's morning in summer, but it's still summer, so
It's a necromancer hiding his bodies.
not that much colder.
Not that cold, huh?
and
Yeah.
eventually that takes up space, and you got to find another house.
All right. Well,
But didn't that guy say there were ghosts and such?
Yeah.
there goes.
That would cool the place down a bit.
That could be. A little worried about those pockets of rage, but uh, by the way, can I tell like what part of the house the rage is coming from?
So through the windows in the upper stories, and through one of the windows near the entryway.
Okay. Is there anything in the window?
So do you approach the location?
Well, I mean, can we see the window from
Yes, you
like
can
a
see the
safe
window
distance?
from a safe distance, but it's dark inside. So you can see the window, and you can see a little bit of the edges of something in the distance, maybe, but you can't make out if it's a person or a chair or anything like that.
Looks like we're gonna have to go in.
All right. We have been at this for an hour and a half now, so let's go ahead and take our break. And we'll meet back up in, well, we'll decide after I stop recording, but we'll meet back up in a little bit, and the rest of you all will see us back immediately. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to our uh, Mage campaign, Salem Knights. And last we left off, the party was going to enter or inspect the manor a little further, and then perhaps enter it, or maybe run away. I don't really know. All right. So I realized I can have you roll perception to perception plus I don't know if it's plus anything. Oh, wits plus perception. That's what it's called. To check the if you can determine what the view is inside of the location.
Okay.
Mm, mm, mm,
Are we all doing that?
Yeah, everyone can do that.
mm,
So 3
mm,
successes for you?
Yep.
Okay.
mm.
I'll wait until everyone's got their stuff, so we'll use the highest successes to determine what they can see through the windows, basically.
And that's a level 7.
Yes. It's just dark enough that it's hard to make out, but not so dark that it, is impossible without amazing sight.
I have 5 successes.
Jesus. What's your wits plus perception?
7.
You got lucky.
I've got 2 successes.
Okay. So with 5 successes, you're able to determine that there appears to be a large clock standing in this location, and it has esoteric runes in gold on the outside of it. So,
Well, as someone who's knowledgeable in esoteric things, can I make any of them out?
so with 3 successes, you were able to determine that it was a clock, but you can't make out the runes from this range. So, Misty would have to explain them carefully to you, which would be I guess like wits plus expression. And with your 2 successes, you can make out about the same, that it's a clock. It's just 5 successes is a ridiculous threshold to meet.
Right. Oliver's like, we should just go in.
I mean, but if all the runes say is death, death, die.
1 success.
1 success. So you're able to basically. Did you get any ones on your roll?
No.
Okay. So I didn't tell you this, but in the future, count up ones. They negate your successes.
Nope. I
The
got
one
4
per thing.
and a 10 and a 5.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to basically explain what the runes are. So go ahead and roll me occult plus intelligence, and this would be for anyone who has occult, really.
Esoterica wouldn't work for
Oh,
the
esoterica.
esoteric
I'm
group.
sorry, that would also work.
What is it?
So would I just take the higher of my occult or esoterica, or
Yes.
plus intelligence?
Yes.
Okay.
Where'd you find the cult?
It's in the knowledges section.
Oh.
Yeah. It is the 3rd column.
Oh, occult. Okay.
All of that knowledge, 2.
I got 2 too.
And I also got 2 successes.
Alright, so all of you are able to determine that the runes bound into this clock tell of basically a story of a house that was well kept and what's the word? Well loved. And when you turn your mage sight on it, which you were able to do a little bit better, you're able to determine that some of the energy from the wards is flowing through the clock.
So if you wanted to get rid of the words, you'd have to take down the clock.
You might have to take down a little more than that, but the clock itself appears to be part of the wards, yes.
Is it too soon to say dibs on the clock?
Do you want to pick up a full-on grandfather clock and carry it out with you?
A car's not far away. Now that I
Yeah,
know where this is, I can just drive it up.
if you want to pick up a 600-pound clock and carry it out,
I'll
go
just,
for it.
I'll just get a couple of my mods to come down and help me pick it up.
No, it would probably be a little less than 600 pounds. It's an antique grandfather clock, but it's fairly thin and tall.
Can you
So
imagine the stream donations I would get to show them my cool grandfather clock with occult runes across it? I mean, I'm sure it's magical from that standpoint, but from a monetary standpoint, that's a payday for me.
um, are they runes that we would all know? They're not in a specific.
they're in the Futhark, the Elder Futhark. So
Um,
you all, since you have occult training, you can just read them basically, because they tell the story in English. They're just basically they reused the letters to try and speak an English phrase in Futhark runes.
yeah.
You know, old style, trying to look more magical than it really would be, but actually magical.
Choppy German, basically.
Yeah.
Um, I was just wondering if it was, specific to any of us or just general.
So with everybody has occult trained, and having any occult means that you come across the runes at some point. So the Futhark is like it's like tarot. You
Yeah.
kind of get it. So yeah,
So Oliver's wanting to head in the door.
okay.
Quicker we get this done and get out of here, the safer we are.
If you want to go in the door first, I'll follow you.
Yep, you go first.
All right.
Oh,
So you approach the door.
yeah.
As you pass through the threshold of um, the wards, you can definitely feel a pressure on you that doesn't quite leave as you pass after you've passed through them. It seems to be a little bit of an oppressive air as you approach the house. And when you reach the door, you I assume you try the door knob and it is
Yeah.
locked.
Seems to be locked. Anybody got lockpick skill?
Why? When I could blow it up.
Ah, 2-year-old, what are you gonna do?
So if anyone has subterfuge, then they can try to open this lock.
Which I do.
So go ahead and roll me Dex plus subterfuge. And this is at a difficulty of 6.
Okay.
It's an old lock, so they're not as hard to open.
One's takeaway, right?
Yes.
Okay, then it's only a 2.
Alright, that's still enough to open the lock fairly easily.
Yeah, but I had a 4. All right, well, it's unlocked. Here you go.
I head inside.
Alright, the moment that you cross the threshold between the outside and inside, you can feel a drop of nearly 10 degrees. It seems to be colder inside than the Force's magic was able to determine earlier.
Oh,
But some of that you recognize might just be from a haunt, since those seem to draw energy a little more strongly from people than they do from.
yeah.
And that's just, you have enough occult to know that.
No, it's significantly significantly colder inside than outside.
And it's like, you know, 80 degrees outside, so it's not actually that bad of a temperature drop. It's just, it's noticeable by a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel comfortable in this weather.
Well, if you're comfortable outside, you might want to throw a jacket on inside.
Alright? And that oppressive air seems to increase as you enter the house, just a bit.
I start looking around for stuff.
Alright, and with your
What
prime sight still up, you're able to.
what
Oh, go ahead.
what room did I enter upon stepping through the door, or is it a hallway or something?
It's a large entryway, like basically a oh, what's the word? I'm just gonna
Foyer?
Foyer.
use. Huh?
Foyer?
Yeah, it's like a foyer. It's basically like here to show off all of the nice carvings and statuary that they have, and allow people to sit and wait for the masters of the house to come down the stairs.
With my prime side up, are any of the statues or carvings magical?
Yes, two of the statues are magical, and you can detect that the spell is a resonance of animation.
Hmm. What size are these statues?
A little taller than a person. They're both of uh, basically like Venus statues.
What do I sense about it with my sight?
So with your sight, you're able to tell that they're magical, but you can't really tell whether or not they have any forces acting on them right now. They don't appear to, so there's no pressure or anything coming off of them just yet, or maybe ever. Who knows? And with your mind sight, there's no sense of intelligence to them or emotion.
Would I basically just know that they were probably created magically?
They were probably created magically, and they may be able to move. You have a dog.
Oh,
I have a dog. She will not leave me alone right now.
Okay.
I don't know why. She can sleep all day.
But the second that you try to be on stream, she's gotta love you.
it's all this cat noise she's been hearing.
Yeah,
She's like, forget this.
you're a dog person now. Alright. So, do you do anything in the foyer?
Not right now. I had to the. I'm assuming the piece of art that he wants might be in the living room or sitting room, so that's where I'm headed.
Okay. That'll be one door away, and this door is not locked. So, That would be the room with the grandfather clock, you're guessing.
Okay.
All right.
So I investigate the room. Is the painting on the wall?
So it's very dark in here, and you're not certain. There are paintings on the wall. Some of them are the right size, but it's just so dark that you'll probably have to get out a flashlight or something, or your phone, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on if Oliver has a flip phone or a smartphone.
Uh, Oliver has the minimum that he would have to deal with.
All right.
Oliver does not like technology at all.
Okay, so he's probably got, if he has a cell phone, he's got a flip phone and he has no flashlight for it. But does he carry a flashlight usually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since he works for maintenance at the university, he always has a,
Like a mag light, kinda.
yeah,
Okay.
and a ring of keys that are twice as big as they need to be.
Yeah. So you flip on your mag light and scan around the room, and you see a lot of paintings of women in various positions, like holding apples and that sort of thing, but no man holding a dog.
Darn.
And you're getting some resonance off of these paintings, but none of them are particularly strong.
Okay.
So they're well crafted, but they aren't like amazing. People didn't
I'm,
put their soul into any of these, they just put their heart into them.
I'm not gonna make any money at an auction with them.
Oh, you might. It's just, you'd make like a couple grand instead of like hundreds of thousands. None of these are a Monet or anything.
Yeah, but I'd have to take them all down, stack them all up, carry out too.
Carry them on the bus.
Yeah, that that'd be a whole lot of fun. Uh,
Some guy just shows up with a bunch of oil paintings on a bus.
That's why you take a taxi, a private taxi.
the taxi driver would wonder what the hell was going on too.
All
Yeah.
you have to do is say, I bought all these paintings.
But um, I head back out into the foyer to decide what the next room I want to go in is.
There's like three other doors in this foyer alone.
Actually, could I potentially switch up my mage site?
Yeah, you can have multiple mage sites up at a time if you'd like.
Because he said he wanted this painting for his life extension. I have time,
Okay.
so I'm gonna try my mage site with time.
All right. So you'll basically detect how old things are when you do this.
Okay.
And you can have a number of spells on you at a time equal to your stamina. So you can either cancel your current mage site and use that, or keep them both up, depending on what you want.
Just cancel entropy in due time.
Okay. So you can tell that everything in this place is at least 150 years old.
Okay.
Nothing new has been moved into this area since this place was abandoned.
Okay.
What would life give you if I do that for insight?
Okay, so your mage sight with life would detect basically anything about living things. So you'd be able to see if there were rat droppings on the floor or anything like that. But
What about spirit then?
spirit is its own whole world of mage sight. When you use spirit, you can detect the activities of spirits in an area and the resonance, the sort of the same way that Prime does, but a little differently, a little weaker. But it's specifically attuned to finding spirits.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that insight up as well.
Okay. And how much stamina do you have?
Where I find that?
It'll be up top under physical in the attribute section.
Got 3.
Okay, so you're at 2 of your 3 spells that you can have on at a time. Does any of you have your mage armor spell up?
No.
No.
Um,
Okay.
would any of us know or have heard rumors about why this place is now abandoned?
No, this place basically went completely off the radar of sleepers well before it was abandoned. And mages just haven't really talked about it because it just is like a place that most mages don't want to go and can't go. So, because most mages fairly early in their life push their arete up a little higher.
Lucky us. We we get stuck with the job.
Yeah, right.
Now, what do I see with my spirit sight?
There is no motion of spirits in this area where you can see, basically. All right. So, do you want to move on to the
Yeah.
next room? And if so, what room would that be? Would it be the other one that you could see through the windows, or one of the ones towards the back?
Okay, did he go to the living room or the sitting room
He
before?
went to the, I think they called it the salon back in, or solarium.
Okay.
That was the room that was had the best lighting.
So the sitting room.
The sitting room. Okay.
So I go to the what would be whatever it's called now, or back then living room.
Okay. So the room that you could see through the windows on the opposite side. So the left side of the house, let's say.
Yep.
All right. As you open the door, you feel a sensation of warmth pass through you, and in this room you can see a lot of old furniture sort of stacked up in a heap. And Mike, Oliver saw a basically a spell pass through Misty as she opened the door.
Could I tell what it was?
Go ahead and roll. Oh gosh, what is this? It would probably be Wits plus Prime.
Okay.
And I might be getting that all wrong, but it'll work for now.
5, okay. And what do I need?
You need just let's see. Let's go. Hmm. Let's just go with a 6, it looks like.
Um. Mm-hmm. No, 3. 2 successes.
Okay. So you're able to determine that. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. I'm totally doing casting wrong, but we'll worry about that later. Um, you're able to determine that the spell was basically a spell that scans her for something. You're not 100% certain, but something related to her person, and then feeds back that information into something else in the house.
I turn to her and say, you were just bioscanned.
Oh, yay.
So apparently something in the house is keeping track of us.
All right. So, what do you do about this? Do you do anything about the spell that's on the door, or do you proceed into the room?
I tried to dispel it. I don't know if you could do that. I don't know.
Okay. So, dispelling a spell is its own complicated thing. Um, so you can spend some time on the dispelling to make it more likely to happen, which is a few turns, and you need the correct spheres to dispel it. So in this case, you'd be using your life sphere
Okay.
because it was definitely a spell of life. So you would use Arete plus life, and you can spend time trying to reduce the difficulty if you'd like to. And the difficulty in this case is over 10 to
How do you
dispel
get
it.
how do you get over 10 when you only use a
You basically
D10?
have to roll multiple 10s to
Okay.
succeed. So you can either spend some extra time to reduce that difficulty or roll with your current setup to try and. Do you want to spend extra time to reduce the difficulty?
No, I don't.
Okay. So roll me your life plus arete and tell me how many 10s you get.
I got one so far. 2, 3.
Okay. So you are incapable of dispelling this magic. And let's see. No successes. You can try again at +1 difficulty. Or no, partial successes. Imperfect results. Okay. Um, so that means that you can keep going at +1 difficulty.
Nah. But how do you do that?
Basically, you'll have to roll a little bit more, so like more tens.
Oh, nope. I'm good.
Okay. Because if you rolled a 1, then you would start botching, and that would be bad.
So I'm going to start exploring the room.
Okay. You pass through the doorway with no additional issue. And, yeah, it just sort of gives you no additional spells fire off as you look around this room, which has just got a bunch of old furniture, like antique furniture, piled up in a heap in the middle of the floor.
Not really interested in that.
Yeah. There are a couple candlesticks with like really ancient candles stuck to them. Uh, but otherwise, and they might be silver, but otherwise, there's probably nothing of value in this room. Well, I mean, antique furniture is valuable, but nothing valuable enough that you would want to try and cart it out by hand.
Right. Yeah.
So, do you want to try to take the candlesticks, or are you gonna just leave them be for now?
I'm going to leave him for now.
Okay. And they look like carved dragons, basically. So they're kind of interesting, but the dragon wraps around the candle.
Another thing that would lead to odd conversations on the bus.
Yeah, but those you might be able to
Okay.
stuff in your pack if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
true. I might come back for him later.
All right. So do you want to move on to another room?
Yeah.
All right. So the back door on the left and the back door on the right are the remaining two. And then you can go up the stairs, of course.
I'll go to the left.
Okay. So this is a grand dining room. There's nothing that happens as you open the door, by the way. This is a grand dining room. There are a number of tables around a very large, or a number of chairs around a very large table. Um, there's a fireplace in the back, and off to the side, it looks like something leads off into the kitchen, which would be further into the house and not
Right.
towards the side that you haven't explored, I should say. There are paintings on the wall, one of which has a very strong resonance of sorrow, and
Not not touching that.
yeah, and it appears to be to um, I'm sorry, Eleanor's mage site. It appears to be over 300 years old.
Whoa.
Interesting. What does it depict?
It depicts a serpent coiled around an apple tree.
Oh, cliche.
Yeah.
Um, huh.
Oh, Oliver mutters all these years and they couldn't come up with something better.
How big is the painting?
Probably like, oh, 3 feet by 3 feet. It's not huge.
Still pretty big.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for later.
All right. And your spirit sight, Misty, detects that there has been the movement of some sort of spirit through this area fairly recently. If you want to
Interesting.
nail it down more, then you'll have to give me an Arete plus spirit roll.
And is it 7 or what's the
It'll be 7.
9? That's a 7. That's 2. How many more? No. That's 7. That's a 2. How many was that? 4?
3,
I got 3. Okay.
which is not bad.
I got one more row. No, 2 more
Okay.
rolls.
2 more rolls?
Did
Alright.
I roll all together?
You rolled Arete, so far you've rolled
How
4.
many have I done though?
I'm sorry?
How many have I done though? A
You've
9,
rolled
a
4
7,
so
a 7,
far.
and 2. Okay, and 10. 5.
Okay. So you're able to determine that it was sometime within the last hour. You aren't 100% certain on exact timing. For that, you'd need literal time magic, of course. But sometime within the last hour, a spirit has moved through this area.
Okay. There are spirits, and they were just here.
We're not alone.
Oh, and with that many successes, you're able to determine that this is not a ghost, but a some kind of spirit of basically caretaking.
Okay.
So like the essence of a maid or something like that, but not an actual person who was a maid once. Or perhaps an enhanced, like the spirit of a dust broom or something like that. Just something that's a caretaking spirit, but you aren't 100% certain without seeing it what it is. All right. So do you want to oh, and noticeably on the table there, the entire table is set with silverware and silver plates.
I didn't come back for that.
But it looks as though someone had prepared for a meal before abandoning this place.
So everything was dusty, basically.
Oh yeah, everything's super dusty. Actually, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Nothing is dusty.
Okay.
Spirits are cleaning. Huh?
But that's odd, though. You don't set up for a large meal like that and then poof.
Yep. That's
So I wonder what happened here.
And just to remind Eleanor, she does have time. So if she were trying to look back in time, that is an ability that she has, but she may not want to, because that is vulgar magic, she may not want to risk herself with that, basically.
Well, I mean, what would I even like personally gain from it at this point?
Knowing what happened?
Yeah.
That's a good question. What would you personally gain from it? Probably not much.
I mean, we're just here to get the painting and get out and, get my grandfather clock loaded in the back of my car.
Yeah, really gonna fit in the trunk of your Fiat back there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hang it out the window.
Okay.
No, see, she's got a pickup truck so that she can cart around all kinds of ritual materials. No, she's got a little fit or something.
I've got a little car and it has its own cat ears and it has those eyelashes you put on the headlights.
Oh, that's one of the latest thing.
Yep.
They've been doing that with reindeer antlers and stuff now.
I say the eyelash thing's been at least 6 years, if not 7 years. There's a person here that used to do that with their car.
Because they showed one that even had the antlers and even had the tail too.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Animals
but
with what they have a tail? Oh my god.
but
All right.
starting to wonder where this picture might be. We should have asked what's his name where in the house this picture was.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
All right. Do you want to head to the kitchen, or are you gonna move back to the foyer and take the last room?
I mean, I can't imagine the painting's going to be in the kitchen.
No.
You wouldn't think so.
Would be an odd place for a painting that size. So I say we go back to the foyer and take the last room.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go ahead you head to the last room. Is who's going to open the door? Because that's mattered in the past.
Not me this time.
Everybody else has opened the door, so I guess I will.
Okay. You find that the door is locked.
Well, good thing it was me. Let's see, it was Dex plus subterfuge, right?
Yes.
2 successes.
All right. You're able to pick the lock, and when you open the door, you see something flickering in the middle of the room. And to your spirit sense, when you see this, Misty, you're able to see that it is a ghost of a man, probably about 5.5 feet tall, carrying a musket. Or I'm sorry, not a musket, a rifle. Do you relay this to the group?
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful. I'm assuming he looks upset.
He looks very, very angry, yes.
Oh, there's the source of the anger.
Yeah. Um, he, he's He's got a musket. Does anybody want to go into combat with him?
Not really.
It's actually a Henry repeating rifle. I should have said that a little more clearly the first
Well,
time.
that's even worse. So
Yeah.
Not really.
With
I mean, how do you
just
fight
a,
a ghost with a weapon?
with just a quick glance, can we see if there's a painting even close to being to the dimensions we're looking for?
With a quick glance around the room, you're able to determine that none of the paintings in this room are that size, but there is another door behind it, and this appears to be a another sort of sitting room.
Okay.
So that could lead off into a gallery of some sort, possibly, but who knows?
and there's most likely another way if we can find it.
Yeah, you never did check for a back door.
Or we didn't also check to see if there's a door leading out of the kitchen either.
Right.
Yeah, we could try our other ways in. We don't have to go through him.
Hmm. So back out, close the door.
Okay. So what path do you want to take from here?
Do we want
Well,
to go see if there's a door out of the kitchen?
I mean, sure, we could do that.
the kitchen's one option, and you said the other one was going upstairs.
Yes. This is a three-story house. Plus, there's a basement somewhere, or a cellar, or something like that.
Let's check out the kitchen and before we go either up or downstairs.
Okay. So you head back through the dining room into the kitchen, and in the kitchen you can feel a sense of warmth emanating from the stove.
Mm,
And with your
That's
prime sight, I should say, you can detect that there's magic running through the stove. Uh, in fact, you have forces too, so there's fire inside
mm,
of the stove.
What's there doing a fire inside a stove of a place with ghosts?
yeah, because that would have had to have been lit fairly recently.
Although the magic is definitely some kind of spell that may or may not be very old. You'll have to determine that with your Arete plus Prime if you would like to.
Why not?
And the difficulty I've determined is actually 6. So,
Mm, 2, 3 more. 3, 4, and 5. One. Um, 2 successes on that.
okay. You can easily determine that the spell that's running through this thing is probably about 150 to 200 years old. So it dates back to the creation of this place, or the abandonment or creation of this place.
So that's been Stove's been keeping this place warm for a long time.
And you can tell that there is a doorway to the cellar and a doorway to the outside in the kitchen.
What do you guys want to do?
I suppose if we go outside, we could see if there's a side door to another part of the house.
Yeah, sounds good.
Probably better choice than going down into the cellar. Who knows what's down there?
Yep.
No kidding.
All right. So you open or unlock the side door and head across to the other side of the house, which takes a little bit because this is a fairly large house. And you see that there is another side door. This would be entering the room that the uh, ghost basically was keeping you out of.
So
It,
we'd be coming in behind him.
you'd be coming into the room that he wasn't in, that was separated from you by him.
No. We found our way back into the room.
So once again, you'll have to pick this lock because it is locked.
Okay.
Again, at a difficulty of 6.
3.
You handily pick the lock and open the door. And inside this room, you can see that there is a very large painting, but it looks like it's a coat room.
Okay.
So there are old moldering cloaks and coats hung up on a rack. And there's an umbrella off to the side in an umbrella stand. And the painting is just a very large painting of basically a battle scene with men on horseback firing into a crowd of Native Americans, and the Native Americans shooting back with bows.
And why would this guard thing be set up to keep us out of here?
So it could just be that the ghost was just mad and in that room for whatever reason the ghost was in that room. It may or may not have been guarding this room. It could just be an angry ghost. It may not be intentionally tethered to that location, is what I'm
Right.
trying to say.
Can we investigate the room?
Sure. Roll me wits plus investigation. Everyone who wants to do so, I should say.
Is it 6 or 7?
7.
9. That's 2. 3. 10. And 7. So that's 3.
Okay. So you spend some time looking around the room, rifling through the pockets of the old coats, just sort of investigating the place. And one thing that you find is a long leather duster that has a 6-shot revolver in the pocket. And the duster is in perfect condition and glows interestingly to your mage sight.
Do I know if it's magical?
I mean, the glowing interestingly to your mage sight suggests that yes, it is.
I pocket both of them. Put them in my bag.
All right, as you go to take the coat off the rack, I'll say that Oliver is able to determine with his mage sight that it is magical, and if he wants to roll his prime to detect its resonance, then that's up to him.
Why not?
All right, so Arete plus prime, difficulty of 6.
Two successes on that.
Okay, so you're able to determine that the magic that's on it is there's magic that resonates with protection and basically like warding and that sort of thing. And there's also magic that resonates with death. Do you share that around?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's up to you whether or not you want to put that big old leather duster in your bag knowing that it resonates with death.
It also resonates with protection.
Yes.
So I will probably put it in my bag.
All right.
So they can have someone actually examine it.
You do know that a duster is a floor-length
Yeah.
trench coat, right?
It's
Yes, I
probably
know
not
that.
going to fit in your bag, even folded up. You'll have to carry it.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
carry it.
But you can pocket the revolver, which itself is not magical.
Pockets the revolver.
Oh, and I didn't tell you earlier, but with the vulgar counter magic that you attempted, you did accrue 1 point of paradox. So mark that on your paradox wheel as an X, because it's vulgar, so it always does that. That would be for you, Misty.
Okay.
There's always at least one paradox for vulgar magic.
For what?
Vulgar magic. So that's
Which
magic
was
that isn't stealthy, basically, or that messes with reality in an obvious way. And counter magic is always vulgar.
Which did I do that?
You counter magicked earlier. You tried to
Oh, I
counter the
did?
spell that was used on the door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, counter magic is always vulgar because it's contending with another mage's reality. Okay. So, do you all want to go back around and go upstairs or something?
Well, it puts the cloak back in, or duster back, and says, "I'll grab that later."
Okay.
Well, if we don't want to go down in the cellar, I guess upstairs is our only choice.
I mean, it could be in the cellar, for all you know.
So good at a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Well, how about if we don't find it upstairs, we go down in the cellar on the way out?
Sure.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay. So, guess we head upstairs.
All right. Head around, go upstairs. As you cross to go up the staircase, both of the statues animate and move to stop you from walking up the staircase.
This was rather unexpected.
So do you keep trying to go up the staircase and have them grab you, or do you stop? They move very quickly across the room as you notice.
I dodge past them and get up the stairs.
You'd like to try to do that?
Yep.
Okay. So this is a contested roll. Go ahead and give me. Let's see. Where is it? It's up here. Go ahead and give me dexterity plus dodge or brawl. Dexterity plus brawl.
But I'm not brawling them.
You don't have brawl? Well then just dexterity.
No, I was gonna say I'm not gonna brawl them. I'm trying to dodge them.
Right. So brawl is the
So wouldn't it be athletics?
let me check on that actually. I don't think that it's athletics, but I will determine that by just reading this thing. Core abilities. Nope. So brawl is the unarmed self-defense skill that is used for dodging grapples and that sort of thing.
Is it a 7? I take it.
So you are at a 7, and it's a contested roll, so they're going to roll their stuff, basically.
10, 10, 2, 8.
Okay. So how many successes did you accrue?
3.
All right, so they accrued 5 successes. So they one of them grabs you as you try to slip past it, and holds you and turns and places you down off of the staircase. I did say they were very fast.
Yeah, you did.
Can I tell? Is it animation magic that's doing that?
Yes. So that would be matter if you have it to manipulate it or something of that sort.
Um, if and 2 enforces, would that help?
I'm sorry, what was that? You cut out for a second.
I don't have any points in matter, but I have 2 in forces and 1 in life. Would that do anything?
So you could possibly use forces to restrain them with like basically telekinesis, but that would be fairly vulgar. So it's up to you if you want to do that.
I'll risk it.
Okay.
So
that'll be. Let's see. What did you have? 2 in forces. What's your arete?
3.
Okay, so that'll be a difficulty of. Let's see. I believe it'll be 5. Yes, that's a difficulty of 5. But you're gonna have to get a fair number of successes to
Yeah.
beat their strength, basically.
Three. Four.
And you can spend quintessence if you'd like to reduce the cost, or reduce the difficulty, I should say.
I got 4 successes.
Oh, damn. All right. Their strength plus stamina roll is only going to be a 6. So you said you had 4 successes?
Yep.
Well, they botched.
Nice.
So as they contend with your telekinetic hold on them, they sort of crush inwards a little bit and contort themselves into an odd shape. So they're just stuck in a weird shape while they're trying to escape this bondage, but they're definitely not uh, in any position to grab you as you go past.
Let's get upstairs while we can.
Yeah, because the duration of this is only a short while. You didn't go for any extra time.
No.
Alright, so I assume you all head upstairs quickly?
Yep.
Alright. So as you ascend the stairs, you notice that there are 2 hallways, one leading off to either side. And in each of them there are 4 doors. So the rooms up here are smaller, or at least you think they're smaller. I mean, with magic, you know that they could be unfathomably large if they were correctly ensorcelled.
Yeah. So, we staying together or we splitting up?
I say stay together.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay together.
Okay.
Left or right?
Let's go right.
Sure. That works for me.
Okay. So you head right. Do you enter the first door on the, we'll call it the front of the house or the back of the house?
It's up to you guys.
I guess the front.
Okay. So in this room, this is a bedroom with a large, one moment. Okay. With a large bed, like a 4-poster bed, and several paintings on the walls, one of which appears to be uh, strongly resonant with joy and life. And it is not the dog painting, but it is of a man holding a cat. and it is the correct size.
Oh, I want to take that one if possible, eventually.
Okay.
So
No.
add that to my mental list.
Well, maybe we're getting closer.
Maybe.
All right. So I assume you head to the back of the house door.
Yep.
Okay. This is another bedroom. Wow, I didn't really give it very much description. Um, this one is basically holds another four-poster bed. Um, this one looks to be made out of mahogany, and the paintings on the wall, none of them are particularly interesting, but you do notice that off to one side there's what appears to be a large jewelry box.
Is there anything magical about it?
No, which might be good because it's a jewelry box.
Okay, so what's in there?
Do you enter the room and check the jewelry box?
Yes.
Okay. There are several necklaces, all in gold, several rings in gold, and a large brooch that appears to be primarily made out of rubies and emeralds.
Any of them appear to have magical residue.
No, it's
Hmm.
all just jewelry.
Well, it's gold, so it might be worth something.
Yeah, they all have, whatever sorts of little gemstones and that sort of thing. And the brooch itself is probably like, oh gosh, like the size of a police badge.
I think we should take this and sell it and split the money.
Works for me.
Alright, so do any of you pick up the brooch? I'm assuming so. So, who picks up the brooch is the big question. Who is going through the jewelry?
Think that was Misty,
Uh,
aren't you?
Oh yeah, she
that's
did
with
say she
me
was.
and yeah.
Okay. So as Misty picks up the brooch, she hears a faint sigh almost, and with her spirit sight, she can see that there's some kind of connection now between the brooch and something else in the room, but it seems to be occluded.
Okay, I'm gonna investigate again.
All right, so I'll just say investigation isn't going to particularly
It's
get you
not.
much. You are going to want to roll your Arete plus Spirit
Oh, RJ for
at a difficulty of what's your Spirit?
2.
Okay, so at a difficulty of 5.
10, 6, 4, 5, 7.
Okay.
That's 4.
Yep, that's 4 successes. With 4 successes, you unveil to your sight the ghost of a little girl who appears to be dressed up in basically Victorian age clothing with a with the brooch attached to her collar.
Okay. I said, there's a local spirit with this brooch on her.
I think if you keep it, you may end up keeping her too.
I think the brooch we leave here.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Couldn't hear you there, Rowan.
I said, yeah, let's leave it.
Let's leave it.
We don't need a ghost trailing us around.
No, we don't.
You can tell that the brooch is extremely valuable, but if you don't want to have a ghost trailing around with you, I totally understand.
Although if we sell it, it would be trailing whoever brought the brooch.
All right. So, do you move on to one of the other rooms?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Okay. As you re-enter the hallway, Eleanor can detect a massive sense of anger from the hallway. So, like, as you're about to re-enter it, one moment. As you're about to enter it, you detect a major source of anger before you re-enter the hallway.
Okay, I'll relay that.
Well, I know it's been 150 years, but what in the world happened here?
Does anyone want to enter the hallway while it's angry? Or,
I think the one that has consensus rage needs to look and see what it is.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think the one that can sense the rage should peek around and check it.
No, it's okay. I'm willing to wait for it to go away.
Alright, so you can all just wait in the room with the little ghost girl.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Actually, I'm willing to poke my head out with my prime and see if I can see anything.
Alright. So, as you look out, you see basically there's a spell moving through this hallway that looks like it's built out of pure death magic.
Whoa.
And yeah.
I step back into the room. There's a pure death magic spell wandering around out in the hall. Hey,
You know, magic spells can move like that.
Yeah, it just appears to be a spell. It doesn't appear to be a spirit or anything, but it's mobile and it's sweeping the hallway basically.
somebody put a lot of energy into that.
And
Yep.
as you watch, you notice that it enters the front room that you checked earlier and begins sweeping around that room.
I said, let's go. I was in that room. Let's get out of here.
I suppose everyone dashes out.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Alright, are you going to continue further down the hallway and check the next door, or are you going to go somewhere else?
I think we should go in the next room.
Okay. So this is the other room toward the back of the house. Um, as you quickly open the door and see what's inside, you can determine that there is another. It's very obvious spirit that appears to be cleaning the mirror in this room, and it has little feather dusters for fingers, like very tiny, full shaped feather dusters for fingers, and it doesn't appear to have a head, so it's probably not a human spirit. Or if it was a human spirit, someone messed it up real intense at some point. And this is just fully visible, fully corporeal.
That's just not right.
Do we see pictures or anything in there?
There are some paintings, a couple of them hanging up on the walls, but none of them are the right size. There is a trunk on the floor. This is not a room with a four-poster bed. It's got two separate beds, each of which is probably about between a queen and a double. And there's a trunk at the foot of one of them.
I'll go over and see if I can open the trunk.
Okay. There's no lock on the trunk, so it opens easily. And inside you find a broken down rifle, not like a rifle that has been broken into its components, and a single dagger uh, that looks to be of carved obsidian. Like the whole piece is one piece of carved obsidian, including the blade. And it is intensely magical with a sense of fire and light.
I'll take that. If anybody,
Really?
if anybody else wants the rifle, they can have it.
No.
Okay. And as you peek out of this room, you see the death spell slowly moving into the room that you just came from and beginning
Alright,
its sweep of that area.
so it's following us.
No fun.
We better get moving before he decides to come to this room.
Alright.
Once we step back out in the hall, how many more rooms are there?
One more in this hallway.
Okay.
The one towards the front of the house, the last one there.
Okay.
This room, as you go to enter it, is locked.
Okay, I'll do the thing again.
Okay? Difficulty of 7.
We found a resident lock picker for the group. This is a good
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
2.
Alright, with 2 successes, you're able to open the lock and open the door. And inside is a gallery. And inside this gallery is clearly the painting. The one that you are searching for.
Alright, let's grab it and go.
Why didn't the guy just say, go to the gallery?
Oh, it's been nice if he said upstairs, gallery, to the right.
Yeah. Been a whole lot easier to deal with if he just said that.
Alright, so it'll take two of you together to move this painting because it's fully like in a frame, and the frame is heavy like mahogany or walnut, I should say. So just so that it's not awkward to move around, it'll take two of you to move the painting. So which two of you are deciding to hold on to it?
Which two of us are the biggest?
Probably not me.
Yeah, who has good strength?
My strength is 3,
Okay,
so
My strength is 3 as well.
so it's probably you two.
okay. So we'll grab the painting.
Alright. As you pull the painting off the wall, you feel something shiver in the wards, and your prime sight can detect that there's definitely something that was moving through this painting, which again has a sense of joy in life. So you're able to detect that there's definitely some magical something going on as you remove this painting from its position. The wards are either weakening or strengthening or something like that. You aren't really sure, but the wards are definitely shifting.
Um, well, I assumed there'd be something to it, or he wouldn't have wanted it to begin with. But I say that the the ward energy is shifting. We should get out of here as quickly as possible.
Alright.
Yes, let's go.
Okay? So as you enter the hallway, you can see the death spell slowly coming towards you down the hallway. And this thing occupies most of the hallway.
Oh, how nice.
So you could either try to slide past it or
Yeah, put the
enter another
painting
room.
between us and the ward or the spell.
Okay, you could also do that.
Why not?
Okay. So you basically stand up the painting, and the spell slowly rolls towards you and passes directly through the painting with no issue. And now it's pretty close to you, and it seems to be picking up speed. Would you like to attempt to counterspell it, or run from it, or technically you could dive out the window that's at the end of the hallway if you needed to.
How are we closer to the window than it is?
Yes.
Yeah, but if we dive out the window, what are we gonna do with the painting?
Throw it out the window. Or take it with us through the window.
Go through all this work, destroy the painting, and then
Okay. We'll actually make that decision next time on the thing. I just noticed what time it is. So basically, we'll leave it as a cliffhanger here. And hopefully everyone can check in next time on Salem Nights. I hope everyone enjoyed this.
that was fun. Yeah.
All right.
See you next time.
Yep. Go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Check out our Facebook. Our Anchor is slowly getting more episodes on it. We are at dragons_RPG on Twitter, and our Discord is Fallen Dragons RPG, all one word. And we're always on Discord, or I'm always on Discord, so just go
And
ahead
so am
and
I.
yeah,
Um,
just send us any questions you like, either on the YouTube or the Discord or the Facebook, and we'll get to you super quick. Or Twitter, I guess, if you like to.
yeah. And there's the new episode of Fallen Dragons is now up on our YouTube, so
Yeah, we'll be doing more Fallen Dragons in the future, of course.
so that's episode 16 already, so
Yep. All right. I will. I'll see y'all later, and I hope everyone had a good time. And bye.
bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.